This mass stalker army and marauders, which will put the hurt on those stalkers if they're able to get close enough to do so. Also, I decided it's time for me to expand. I've been waiting around here for these two bases for too long. I wanted to infest Poke's base, but at this point I actually finally realized that this expansion right here exists. There, finally, I'm almost at max population right now. But anyway, the battle finally goes down between these two armies. These marauders and marines put up a valiant, defense, but there's just too many stalkers here right now, and it's heavy losses on both sides, but those stalkers just have more numbers and are therefore able to take those losses more readily. And Daboom comes in with his army, and he's gonna support him. And here comes Knut with his Dark Templar and Colossi army. I'm sending in the Mutalisk Corps to help out. Doesn't look like we have any detectors. And I see those Hydralisks and that turret, and I decide, okay, I'm not going to send in those my Mutalisk Corps just yet. Also, I've got a nice Zergling Corps as well, and I see this base, and I send the Zerglings in after it, and it gets torn down in like seconds. Like, these Zerglings just overwhelm everything and just tear everything up in seconds as if, nothing had ever existed there previously. And it looked like, oh jeez, big trucks are going by my windowsill. And it looked like Pravda was going to attack my Zerglings there. I was kind of hoping he would, but he didn't, and it made me sad. But now we can definitely see on my army tab, I've got a much superior army to everybody else in the game at this point with my Mutalisks and Hydralisks. But we've got another battle going on here. Vesret tried to expand to these high-yield resources. These Void Rays are going to come and try and take it out. He's also got Hydralisks there. I decide I'm going to commit the Mutalisk Corps to this battle and attack these Void Rays. And I've got much more Void Rays. Sorry, I've got much more Mutalisks than he's got Void Rays, and we're able to tear up this fleet pretty quickly. You know what? You know what makes this game so awesome? Is when the battles are so epic that it makes the computer lag. I love it. It reminds me of like an old school NES game. But Knut does have some Dark Templars in there harassing poor Vesret Stalkers, and he's going to get them out of here. And also, on my end, let's just zoom that back a little bit. I decide, okay, it's time to get these Zerglings to do something. I've got a huge horde of them, so I decided that we're going to have them attack this base, but he walled things off pretty nicely, and I'm not able to really get in there. And then, Knut's got those Dark Templars coming in. And, it doesn't look too good for my poor Zerglings at this point. But, eventually, they're just able to smash that photon cannon, and then they get in the base, and now they're wreaking havoc. They're loose. The Zerglings are loose, and they tear down that nexus in seconds. And I decide I was going to stick around and try and kill that pylon, but I decide, it's not worth it. I'm going to get the Zerglings out of there, and they run away after putting the hurt on that nexus. back to be regrouped and regroup and get more reinforcements spawned in. And things are not looking good for our enemies at this point. We've gotten the better of them in a number of key battles. So they're on the ropes, but Canute's going almost exclusively Dark Templars, which is probably not the best idea, but none of us really got detectors for the duration of the game. I had an Overseer over here like the whole time, but I think I forgot that he existed. And Poke is gonna, or Burr, or rather, is gonna try and do some damage with his Stalkers, but those Dark Templars are just able to kill him without a second's glance. And Vesred also commits some Stalkers to the battle, but they're gonna suffer the same fate as Poke Stalkers. So I'm rebuilding the swarm at this point. Almost again, I've been at max population roughly the entire game, or well, the entire latter half of the game. Just able to produce so many units, and also upgrading my Zerglings, and upgrades are very, very important in the later game. Something that even a lot of people forget to do, including me. But in this game, I decided I want these Zerglings to be as threatening as they possibly can with their both speed and attack upgrades. I decided they were going to be a pretty sizable threat. Also, upgrading my Mutalisk, but my first stuff hadn't been done. And I did notice these burrowed Hydralisks. So then I send the Mutalisks back to attack, while sending in the Zerglings, and I didn't realize that he had, cannoned up so much. So I gotta pull those guys back. I lost a lot of Zerglings. I lost a lot of troops in that battle needlessly. But, as they say in Monty Python, it's only a flesh wound. And with 3 bases worth, and how many hatcheries did I have at this point? 5 hatcheries. I'm gonna be able to replace those losses pretty quick. But now Poke is finally on the move, finally getting revenge for his base that was destroyed at the beginning. He's got a nice Stalker force. He's gonna take out the center base. And Pravda is going to commit some Hydralisks to the battle. Well, those Stalkers are going to chew up those Hydralisks. And then I got the Zerglings coming in as well. And now finally we're on the attack. Yellow's base is being besieged by Vesred Stalkers. He's pretty much done. And these Stalkers are going to get outmanned, overwhelmed, and he's got reinforcements coming in, but they're going to be nowhere near enough. This front line is going to get chewed up. Pravda also has Hydralisks coming in, also going to get chewed up. And Daboom's on the attack with his cloaked banshees. And oh my god, it looks like these guys had gotten the better of them in the attack. But it's to no avail, because then my Mutalisks come in and wipe everything out. Or mop up what's left, more rather. Also, Poke is in Pravda's base, destroying everything with his Colossi. And I'm in Yellow's base, destroying everything with my Zerglings and Mutalisks. And it's all over for these two players at this point. And now it's time to turn our attention to our enemies. And Knut's on a rampage with his Stalker. Also, Cosmo has rebuilt his Void Ray fleet, and is also on the rampage. I sent in my Zerglings to help out Poke take out this base, and I've kind of got pockets of Mutalisks and Zerglings all over the place. And instead of attacking me, which he could have done, you know, a sizable amount of damage before I got my forces in there, he retreats. I'm gathering a division of Mutalisks, or a squadron of Mutalisks, to counterattack. And we have a little skirmish there, no real damage, and both of our forces kind of flounder off. And his probes are just march themselves into the slaughter there. Poke's in the middle of this expansion, destroying these two guys at base. And it's about over at this point. All that's left is this epic battle here. He's got a fleet of Void Rays, and he's also got a bunch of cannons defending his base. The Boom tries to siege it, but those Void Rays come in and take out the siege tanks. But he's not retreating those Void Rays. He's going to stand toe-to-toe with those Marines. Probably not a good idea. And he falls back. I got the Mutalisks coming in, but there's so many cannons there that both these forces are just going to get torn up by those cannons. But I'm going to send in these Hydralisks anyway, or these Mutalisks anyway. They're going to tear down these Void Rays. Both of our forces are still trying to climb up there, but nuclear launch is detected as Daboom gets a ghost in there, and he's gonna launch out a nuke and destroy some shit. And it's all over at this point. And there you have it, completely destroyed, and I hope you guys enjoyed that match. An example of the Stalinator build. I'm coining it. You heard it here first. Anyway, jeez, there's always sirens and shit going on outside my window. Anyway, I seriously hope you guys enjoyed that match. For now, this is going to be JosefVStalin signing off. And again, if you got any cool replays, love to see them, and you guys take care.